Maryland passed a law which will cause even more innocent people to be tortured with lies using the Jailhouse confession witness scam. People who think this law will help make a simple mistake. They say when a prosecutor hides that a felon got let out of prison as a reward for testifying and that information is later discovered, it shows a reason for the witness to lie was hidden. A prosecutor and a witness hiding something is suspicious. They then say if a prosecutor is instead forced to disclose up front that a witness expects a benefit, this will reveal this same information to the jury at the time of trial. But this is wrong. A prosecutor getting caught hiding something is not the same as having a state database. A prosecutor hiding something and being caught, and a prosecutor openly saying something, do not have the same effect on the jury. The second one makes it look like the prosecutor's behavior is regulated to be honest, rather than a sneaky private deal. The prosecutor openly saying something and having a database creates the false impression that the prosecutor's activity and the witness himself is regulated by the state to be truthful. At this moment, the jury no longer measures the credibility of the witness himself or the credibility of the witness and prosecutor in light of discovering they had a secret agreement and hid it. The jury now measures the credibility of the witness as the credibility of the state, of the court and bar association that permits and regulates such activity. Maryland's new law requires prosecutors disclose specific jailhouse witness evidence to the defense, including information tracked in the statewide system. This makes it appear as if the state has validated the credibility of the witness and would penalize the witness if caught lying. Senator Smith said, "In passing this legislation, we have protected Marylanders from unregulated jailhouse informant testimony, helping to keep innocent people out of prison and saving our state millions of taxpayer dollars. Saying the process is now regulated is a trick on voters and jurors. Saying such witnesses are regulated is a euphemism to trick people that the problem has been fixed, when such witnesses are still allowed to lie without penalty. This law is a trick, a fake fix, when courts are still allowed to hide the truth from the jury, that such witnesses are known by every lawyer in the room to almost certainly be lying, and know they will never be penalized. Telling jurors the behavior is regulated by the state, and making the lying felons swear the oath just takes advantage of the uncured prejudice of naive jurors who imagine prosecutors couldn't manufacture straight liars because there is some possible penalty, rather than only a reward for lying. There is still no institution in state government to prosecute such witnesses when they are caught lying. Such witnesses have been found to lie to convict the innocent over and over. Prosecutors know they are lying, and nobody ever faces any penalty. That has not changed. And every inmate in the jail knows this. Despite the appearance of being regulated by the state and voters, there is still a reward and no penalty for lying. And there is still no database of how often such witnesses have been found to have lied to convict the innocent and never prosecuted. Jurors are biased to imagine that such processes, which are done in the open and are approved by the state Supreme Court and legislature, have some mechanism to deter lying. Jurors are biased to imagine that when such witnesses are found to have lied, the witness and prosecutor would face some penalty. But you are not allowed to cross-examine the prosecutor about his process like a CSI. You are not allowed to ask the prosecutor how many different inmates with different stories he had to select from, whether it bothered him that the witness changed his story, or whether his own process has been reliable in the past. You are not allowed to cross-examine the prosecutor about whether his witnesses were ever caught lying and were not prosecuted, or whether he can ever be sued or prosecuted for producing straight liars. You are not allowed to examine the judge as witness to find out whether the judge or anyone thinks this is a reliable process. No expert witness tells the jury, like in Diaz v. U.S., that such prosecutors and witnesses are found to have lied to convict the innocent all the time in similar cases and never face any penalty, and that every inmate in the jail knows lying that someone else confessed is a free ticket out. The only way to have a true jury trial is to remove the bias of jurors by telling them the truth. When such witnesses are caught lying, neither the witness nor prosecutor faces any penalty. They both know this. Therefore, such witnesses are used to trick jurors and convict the innocent all the time without penalty, in cases just like this one. The testimony is still unregulated. To the extent witnesses are still allowed to lie and prosecutors are still allowed to reward them for lying. The new law just gives the jury the false impression that such witnesses are regulated somehow, and that there is ever any reason for such witnesses to be telling the truth when there still is not. But now, jurors will falsely conclude that there is some state office to monitor and prosecute such witnesses when they lie, and that the witnesses therefore have some incentive to tell the truth, when they do not. You could do the research they don't want you to do, and you would see that dangerous felons who were let out of prison to convict the innocent, and then later caught lying, are still never prosecuted, and they all know this. There was never any real-world scientific evidence to believe Maryland's new law would reduce wrongful convictions. It is just a fake fix like so many promoted by politicians and lawyers. More innocent people will now be convicted more easily in Maryland, and with even less critical consideration by jurors.